All right, let's get into it. Have you ever been in that spot where you need to make a point, but you're not totally sure about the facts? Or, the opposite, where you are so certain you'd bet anything on it? Well, the words we pick can signal exactly how confident we are instantly. Today, we're going to decode the language of certainty. You'll basically become a communication detective, knowing exactly how to say this is a wild guess versus this is a stone cold fact.
Okay, so our investigation starts the morning after a party. It's not exactly a crime scene, but, well, a clue has definitely been left behind.
So picture this. Max and his wife threw this awesome party last night, but now they're cleaning up, and what do they find? This hat, just sitting there on the couch. This is our one and only clue. And this is where you and I come in. The big question is, whose hat is this? Right now, we have absolutely no idea. So, what's our first move as detectives? We gotta start guessing. Think about it. When you're at the very beginning of a case and you have zero evidence, what else can you do? You can only speculate. You're just looking at the guest lists and kind of throwing out possibilities. So, our certainty level at this stage, it's pretty low. Let's call it 50%. Maybe even less than that. We're not sticking to any one theory yet, right? We're just keeping all our options open. So, how do we actually say this out loud? Well, we use these really specific words. We could say, it may belong to Joe Green, or, it might be Al Goldberg's, or even, it could belong to Mr. Perez. See, we're just listing out potential suspects. Now, here's the most important part of this whole section. In this context, may, might, and could are basically the same. They all mean the exact same thing. Hey, I'm not sure, this is just a possibility. It is the pure, simple language of a guess. But then, just when we're about to write this off as a cold case, our investigation takes a turn. A new piece of information pops up, and it completely changes our perspective. You're staring at the hat a little longer, you pick it up, feel the fabric, and then, suddenly, a memory just clicks into place. It's that classic, moment every good detective waits for. You realize you've actually seen this hat before. Your brain is starting to connect the dots between the clue and a specific person. We're not just guessing anymore. We're actually building a real theory based on something you remember. And just like that, our confidence shoots way, way up. We've gone from a 50-50 shot to being like 95% certain. We're not at 100% yet because we haven't actually confirmed it, but we have a very, very strong hunch. Now, to express this new level of certainty, we need a new word. And that word is must. Must isn't for guessing. It's for making a logical conclusion based on evidence. It tells people that you thought it through and you've landed on the most likely answer. So our statement completely changes. We're no longer saying it might be Joe's hat. We can now say with a lot of confidence, it must be Joe Green's hat. We're signaling that based on our memory, this is the only conclusion that really makes sense. So we've gone from a guess to a logical conclusion, but there's one final level we can unlock. Absolute 100% certainty. And this happens when Joe Green himself calls and asks, hey, have you seen my hat? And this right here is the final crucial difference. At 95% certainty, we make a logical deduction. It must be Joe's hat. But when we have proof, when we are 100% sure, we just state a fact. We drop the special verb completely and just say, it is Joe's hat. Boom, case closed. Okay, so let's pull all of this together into a simple, easy-to-use toolkit that you can use anytime you need to express yourself, clearly and with the right amount of confidence. And this chart just lays it all out perfectly. Up at the very top, 100%, you've got facts, using words like is or are. Right below that, at 95%, you've got must for those strong logical conclusions. And then way down at 50% or less, you have may, might, and could for when you're just making a guess. And here are a couple of pro tips to keep in your back pocket. First, remember that maybe as one word is an adverb, like maybe he's at home, but may be as two words is the verb phrase we've been using as in he may be at home. Also, super important rule, we don't use the word can to talk about how certain we are. It's a really common mistake, so keep an eye out for it. So, there you have it, the detective's guide to certainty. Now, it's your turn to try it out. Think about your plans, or lack of plans. What's one thing you might do this weekend? You don't have to be sure, just make your best guess.